Thank you. And the executives, our national executives, near Zanem Bechanana, Trege Simani Yanewa, and near Zanem Bechanana, and take at a flat bearer.
So what is he saying?
Yes, he has just briefly welcomed everybody, and you see the lives of, he has mentioned the lives of the national executives of the party, NDC, regional executives, the constituency executives, and above all, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and his entourage, as well as the media and then the security services for the effort that we have all put up to make this particular program a success. That's what, in short, or in brief, our constituency chairman, Mr. Yang David, is telling us.
I had 92%.
Yes, he is giving assurance to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama that Jepa constituency is solidly behind His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and that come December 2024, Jepa constituency will vote 95% for John Dramani Mahama and vote 95% for the parliamentary candidate, that is Honorable Clayton Siriba. Yes. Yes. He's saying that it's just a quick reminder to the good people of Jepa. But on this note, he's saying that he will give floor for the honorable member of parliament for the constituency, Honorable Clayton Siriba, to come and speak to the good people.
So let us listen to the member of parliament for the constituency now.
In fact, Jerbale Mabonle na Puria. Cha Nieza na wache. Embora ke song Kardan ate president na wana kuwadia dako. John Mahama Oseye. John Mahama Oseye. Yeah, Mahama O. Mahese Mahama O. Choboy. Come on, John Mahama. Yeah, ka Bekarbe. John Mahama. John Dramani Mahama. John Dramani Mahama. Baraka Yagaza. Your Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, my colleague MP for West Central, East, present here, the former Chief of Staff, the Venerable Julius Debra, and the entourage of His Excellency, the former President, the people of Heng, the people of Ulo, the people of Teza, the people of Duori, Yara, Tugo, Kunzokala, Namber, Bare, Sabuli, Mankuri, Ping, and the entire Jiraba. In fact, Zina, Empo Pelela, Anin Nombuna Yenawul, Achare, Akatawiya Party, Gangaza, Mamuna Yenawul, Achare, His Excellency, President John Dramani Mahama. Ye Karuma Nur Kotemera. Choboy. Embora kan yelukuya. Eniela Akatawiya Party. Yeninsu Akatawiya Party.
So what is he saying at the moment?
He has started by saying that he's overwhelmed by joy, and he has used all sorts of words because today is a very memorable day in our political life in Japan here. He has also, in a very brief manner, acknowledges and then also welcome His Excellency John Dramani Mahama the former president and the incoming president of Ghana and his entourage, as well as party executive from national to constituency. And then he went further to acknowledge the presence of every person from Jepa constituency.
He's talking about percentages now.
Yes, I'll get there. He has actually, you know, Honorable Cletus State Dabla is always tagged as the grassroots man in the Upper West region politics. So he has mentioned almost all the names of the community across the length and breadth of the constituency. Now, he went further to assure John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, and then his encourage that the Japa constituency is very well prepared and the grounds are very fertile, that will give His Excellency John Dramani Mahama a resounding victory. In fact, 95% of the valid vote cast in the upcoming elections, and will also vote massively for him as a parliamentary candidate, not less than saying 95%.
Okay, so let's continue listening to him, then we come back to you to break it down.
Lorry charge awulala, school fees awulala, fertilizer yamanto dala. Ghana Nana Akufo-Addo anu yo baomia basala palo. Lebanon sa palo na nieno yo nanna bom mala Ghana. Nina yon nan na bon venka Ghana ala wale onanda wa onola nimbo His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. So boy Jirbale embora kan yelkwe ye development balonza kletu seru da pla bongala enam bongana ena ndiala ala kanzen ayele kuro a President Mahama omen bonga amine a bambuna na la era ati palo che wara za kamanga office bi kamanga yiri man yel kola buna tajribale na mbora katini wonye sunwa choboy so embora kan yel kuya ka President John Dramani Mahama oye president nakana ka uno wodi de ko honan na ba trust yewunala honobon diuladi oban bare ziri oye nie nan yele me nie nan ta Ghana anyo oba nie nan zuro oba bon nan nyigri anga nuba mine nan wa awazuti libieza abenka wahala abenieza enga boy Pampana. At this juncture I have just one singular duty. My duty on this podium this night is to introduce to you the man. This man is a man of valor. This man is a man that will never deceive Ghanaians. This man is a man with integrity. You can vouch for him. If he greets you in the morning, you will just respond. He is not the other one that you have to turn and look at the position of the sun before you respond. Eyezu, this man has been an assembly member for Bole in the Bole district before. Eyezu, this man was an MP before. This man was Deputy Minister for Communications before. This man was Minister for Communications before. This man was Vice President before. This man was President before. And by the grace of God, inshallah, come 7th December, 7th January, he will become the next President of Ghana. I introduce to you President John Dramani Mahama.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The night is fast spent, so we're going to do this quickly so that we can all go back home and catch a rest. Thank you very much, Jirapa, for the very warm welcome you've given us. I wanted us to get here in the afternoon so that we could see ourselves clearly. Houses would say Gafili, Gadochi, but unfortunately, we arrived here in the night. Next time, we'll try and make sure that we start from Jirapa in the morning before we go to other places. Thank you. I was speaking to Jirapana, and I was telling him, I said, in 2016 and 2020, Ghanaians had not seen properly the track record of Nana Akufo-Addo and Bawumia. They had experienced the NDC, they had seen the NDC in government. But when these other people came and said, look, we can do better than NDC, NDC are incompetent, get rid of them, bring us in, we're going to do this, one village, one dam, one district, one factory, $1 million per constituency per year, yet Isikaso come the year, if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. So when Ghanaians heard all that, then it was like, okay, why don't we give these people a try? And so, of course, Ghanaians asked us to go take a rest. And so we left office, and we've been in opposition since. And I told Jirapa now, I said, now we have track records to compare. We have lived under NDC, we have lived under MPP. And in Tree, they say, Yasua Ansa, Yasua Nsio, Yafe Yehunye Muodu, or something like that. It means we've carried water, we've carried alcohol, we can now tell which is heavier. So the real contest is now. And the point is, the dishonesty is what worries me. Because when you have destroyed an economy the way the MPP has done, the least you can do is to explain to the people and say sorry. But they still try to justify and say that your condition is even still better. Your lives are better. They deny the hardship. And even when they accept the hardship, they said it's not our fault. It is the international community. It is what is happening outside. The first 4 years, it was Mahama. Everything was Mahama, 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 Mahama. Then when Ghanaians got tired of hearing Mahama, then it became COVID-19, 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 COVID-19. Then when Ghanaians got tired of COVID-19, Russia, Ukraine, Russia, Ukraine, Russia, Ukraine. You see? But the point is, if a government cannot take responsibility for anything, then it cannot solve any challenges that confront the country. You must take responsibility first. And once you've taken responsibility, you understand what that responsibility is. And based on that, you are able to resolve the challenges. I mean, I was faced with Dumso as president. Dumso was a result of low investment in generation over the years, long before I became president. Dumso was because of legacy debts in the energy sector. But I didn't come and say it's Mills's fault, it is Kufuor's fault, it is Rawlings' fault. No. I went to Parliament and I said, you voted me as your president for a time like this. I accept the responsibility. We have an energy crisis. I am going to fix it. And I fixed it. But the very interesting thing is, we have an economy in crisis. And we have a candidate who is the vice president of this government who says, my government has not done well, but vote for me, even though I'm in government. And when I leave my government and I come into government, I will do this for you, that my government did not do for you? Basa, basa, basa. Ezu. There's something in politics and government we call collective responsibility. Collective responsibility. It's a principle. Go and look it up in Google or anything. If you're part of a group and you sit together and take a decision, even if you did not agree with the decision, but you participated in the decision making, you are bound by that decision. And so, for all the people who worked with Akufo-Addo, from his vice president to his ministers and everything, they sat in cabinet and they took decisions together. Ghanaians, we don't want to care to know who was in favor of which decision, who was against this decision. All we know is cabinet has decided. That is what they do. They write to the speaker, cabinet has decided. They don't say, oh, this cabinet minister dissented, this one agreed, or whatever. It just says cabinet has decided. So if they say cabinet has decided, then it means you took the decision together. So in future, you cannot now come back. And I heard somebody saying, oh, when they were passing the e-levy, the vice president was not happy. We don't want to know whether he was happy. If he was not happy, he should have resigned. The thing is, if you are part of a collective and they take a decision you don't agree with, what do? You resign. If you stay, it means you are bound by the decision. Okay, let's put e-levy aside. Cabinet has decided 10% betting tax. And the vice president was not happy. He wasn't happy. So why did he stay there? He should have resigned. Emissions tax. The vice president was not happy. Some of these things, the president wasn't happy. You see, if you are a person of principle, you accept responsibility. I worked with Professor Mills. I was in cabinet. We took decisions together. After Professor Mills, I did not come and say I did not agree with some of the decisions Professor Mills took. I accepted responsibility for everything that we did together. Indeed, in 2012, I won that election after just 5 months of campaigning after Professor Mills died. I won that election because I ran on the record of Professor Mills. It was Professor Mills that made me win the election of 2012 because I ran on the record of what we had done and were trying to achieve together. But here, we have a vice president who's running away from his president's record. And he's saying, I was just a driver mate. And so if I give advice and the driver doesn't take it, what can I do? If you give advice again, drop me here. I won't go again. That's what you do. But if you sit in the car and you tell them overtaking is wrong, go driver, take care, and he doesn't mind you. The next time, corner fast. Hey, driver, this corner fast will fall in the ditch, oh, he doesn't mind you. When the car goes and fall in the ditch, won't you be in the car? Now you can't come out of the car and say, Monfastia no mami, Monfastia no mami. But I know you all have lived in this country. Bob Marley has a song, who feels it knows it. All of us are in this country, and so we feel it, and so we know it. And so I don't have to come and tell you what has happened this last 8 years. Our economy is in crisis, our economy is in a mess. This morning I was looking at some of the headlines of the papers. They said Ghana's economy bouncing back. Ghana's what. I tell you, it's not bouncing anyway. Because of some Moody's rating, any country Any country that finishes its debt restructuring gets that automatic correction by Moody. It's not because they've done anything extraordinary. This country is in a mess. And the country is even as it is because we're not servicing our debts yet. From next year, the next new government that is going to come is going to have to start servicing those debts. And so they've created a mess. They've renegotiated the debts, pushed it over the line so that come 7th January, they can wash their hands. The money that they've taken, they'll go and sit somewhere and enjoy their money and leave the rest of us Ghanaians to deal with the mess that they have created. So NDC is as usual going to come after an MPP administration and clean the mess that they have created for Ghanaians. But we will clean the mess. We will come and stabilize the economy. We will come and stabilize the currency. We will get this country moving again. We will increase investments in the oil and gas sector. We will bring our cocoa industry back again. We will help our farmers with subsidized fertilizer again. We will give our farmers mechanization services again. But, alongside doing that, we will hold those who have put this country in this mess to account. If you have stolen Ghana's money, you are not going to sit somewhere and enjoy it in peace. Ghanaians will come after you to recover the money you have stolen from them. And the main reason why they want their vice president to inherit them, and you heard Akufo-Addo say, I cannot hand over to John Mahama. And I say, it's not in your mouth to decide who you want to hand over to. It is the Almighty God and the people of Ghana who will decide who you should hand over to. And when they have decided, you have no option in the matter. You will have to hand over to who Ghanaians decide you should. But I know that his preference is that his vice president should take over. Because his vice president cannot hold them accountable. I don't see him investigating any of the members of his government. If he would investigate it, he should come out and tell us that when he becomes president, he will investigate Akufo-Addo, he will investigate Ken Ofori-Atta, he will investigate Bedietro, he will investigate their families, he will investigate any minister who has stolen money. He should come out boldly and tell us. Because what they want is for him to come and cover up so that they can go and enjoy in peace. But the point is, if you accept to serve in public office, you must be prepared to be held accountable. And the only people who can hold them accountable is for them to go out into opposition, NDC to come in, investigate the scandals that have taken place, and hold anybody who is responsible for misappropriating the money of Ghanaians to account. And that is exactly what we want to do with Operation Recover All the Loot. Operation Recover All the Loot means if you've stolen our money, you bring it back. If you bring it back, we don't have any wahala with you. During COVID, 25 billion cedis came into this country. 25 billion. Auditor General says only 40% was used for COVID. A new NDC government wants to know the remaining 60%. Where did it go? What did you do with it? Ghanaians want to know. And it's NDC that will come and find out what happened to the rest of the 25 billion that was not used for COVID. Somebody decides that he has a covenant with God. I have my own covenant with God. And I say, God, if you give me what I'm looking for, this is the covenant I have with you. But it's personal between me and my God. And so you have your covenant with God. You say, God, if you make me president, I'll build you a cathedral. That is your personal covenant with God. So when God fulfills it, go find your money and come and build his cathedral for him. Why do you go and take our $58 million and go and dig a deep hole and there's only water in it and mosquitoes are swimming in the water? $58 million. And so we want to know what happened to the $58 million. Who got what? You brought PDS and said they should come and take our downstream distribution sector. Then we hear they are quarreling over it. There was a bank guarantee. Somebody changed it to an insurance bond. And then the family were quarreling with those who were the front men for them. And there was on audio, how do we distribute the shares of PDS and all that. Ghanaians want to know what happened to that PDS scandal. And so there are so many scandals that Ghanaians want to know what happened. And the only government that can hold these people to account is a new NDC government that will come into office on 7th January 2025. But let's leave them for the meantime. A new NDC government has a lot of good packages for Ghanaians. We're going to continue all abandoned projects. We're going to continue the extension of electricity. We're going to repair our roads. We're going to continue our hospital and our healthcare facilities. We're going to continue our e-blocks and our schools so that our children will have more access to secondary education. We're going to make the free SHS better. We'll cancel the double track and will improve the feeding so that our children can get quality food when they go to school. Empower our mothers and our sisters with the Women's Development Bank so that they can get low interest loans without collateral, so that they can inject into their businesses and grow their capital and their small and medium enterprises. We are going to, under the Market Enhancement Project, develop all the underdeveloped markets so that it will be appetizing for you to go into the market and buy things from our mothers and our sisters. We are going to implement the no-fee stress policy. So for any of our children who gains admission to a tertiary institution, nursing training, agri-college, technical university, colleges of education, first year, no academic fees. We are going to implement a free primary health care policy. And so from CHIPS compounds to health centers to polyclinics to clinics, any Ghanaian who had NHIA card that has expired or you don't have, you get free medical treatment under the free primary health care. In every community, we're going to have a community health volunteer. We will pay that person an allowance. And a certain number of times every year, he must go to every household. He will take your blood pressure. He will measure your sugar level to make sure you don't have diabetes. He will educate the women how to check their breast so that they don't have breast cancer. And he will advise you on diet and nutrition so that we can keep our people healthy. If he finds anybody that needs referral to a hospital, he will do the referral and will move the person to a district hospital for attention. We want to improve the health care of our people, and the only way we can do it is through free primary health care. And so there's a lot. If I want to talk about it, we're going to stay here till tomorrow morning. I want to thank the people of Japa and to tell you that we have an election to win first. And so in the morning, go as early as possible to your polling station and go and vote. After you vote, if you have something to do, you go do it. But by 5 o'clock, make sure you are back at your polling station. I hear that they know that they have lost the election. So they are encouraging their people that wherever you go, if we are losing, disrupt the counting. Please be vigilant. Anybody who attempts to disrupt the counting, please resist them. Resist them with all the force that you have available at your disposal. So on that day when you go and you take the ballot paper, there's one thing you should look for. And the only thing you need to look for is the Akatawia symbol. Nothing else. Don't look for number 8. Don't look for anything. Just look for the Akatawia symbol. Now, the lady with the green vuvuzela, come up here. I want you to come and stand here. Just come here. Where is she? Just stand here. Stand here. Stand here. Look at the crowd. I didn't say blow your vuvuzela. Now listen to the question. Listen carefully to the question. I want you to use your finger. How do you call this finger in the Gari? You don't know. Nubile. Nubile. I want you to take your nubile. Look on this thing. Katawia. I didn't say point at my photo or anything. Just use your finger and point and say, this is the Katawia. Let me see. Thank you very much. She has got it correct for 5 points. Thank you. So that's the Akatawia. So just look for the Akatawia. And when you see the Akatawia, you put your thumbprint next to it. And when you're putting your thumbprint, turn your hand like this, not like this, so that the thumbprint won't cross any of the two lines. So you put it there like that. And then you wipe your finger clean. There's always a rag there. So when you thumbprint the ballot paper, it might be like this, like this. When you thumbprint it, you leave it on the table. Don't touch it again. You just thumbprint, and then you leave it on the table. You take the rag, you clean your thumb dry before you pick the ballot paper and fold it. If you don't clean your thumb well, and you take the paper and you touch it again, it will create another thumbprint on the paper. And once they see, so when you finish, you fold it like this. You fold it long, not short. You fold it long like this. You don't fold it like this. You fold it like this. And then you go and put it in the ballot box. We want to reduce the spoiled ballots. So if you know in your house you have an old lady or an old man who has difficulty with voting, Electoral Commission has what they call assisted voting. And so you go with them that morning to the polling station. You tell the presiding officer he wants to do assisted voting, or your grandmother wants to do assisted voting. They'll allow you to go into the booth with her, and then you go and help her to select what to thumbprint so that she doesn't spoil the ballot. We want to reduce the number of spoiled ballots, especially in our area here. They say the north has the highest number of spoiled ballots, so we want to reduce that number. So far, Cletus Sedu Dapla is my younger brother. He is one of our active MPs, and he is one of my my young MPs who are very close to me. He's one of those who just walks to my house and comes and sits in and say, I want to see the president, and nobody can turn him back. So if you vote for him, he has access. He will see me whenever he wants to see me. And I need you to vote for him so that we can work together to help you. Your duty is to bring him to Parliament. When you bring him to Parliament, I will decide what I want to do with him. I know that NDC is going to win the election. And by the grace of God, if we win the election, by God's grace, I'll become the president. And when I become the president, I don't want you to... And so I'll lift his hand so that you know that you are witnesses that he officially is our candidate for the 7th December 2024 election. So cast your vote for JM and cast your vote for Cletus, Sedu,
John Mahama has raised the hand of the Member of Parliament for this area, and that wraps up the of the Jirapa.
Thank you very much.
Here,
God richly bless you.
We are going to the University of Development Studies, where he's going to engage young students, what he calls Campus Connect, and that will wrap up his tour of the Upper West region.
Oh, no, is that the one?